Craig, aka Mr. Impact Blog for the TNAIW channel. And welcome to this, our very first show of our brand new show, What Went Down, where each week myself and my co-host will take you through what went down on Impact Wrestling's weekly show. But since this is a special occasion and we're less than 24 hours away from Slammiversary, decided let's do a Slammiversary preview show. And as you can see, I'm joined by TNIW's own Geoff.
What's up, guys? Excited to be on the first episode. We were trying to hold off for a few, but it just seemed like things kept coming in the way of me not being on the show or trying not to be on the show. So here I am. But it worked out, like you said. It's Slammiversary. We would have talked about it anyway. So excited to be on the first show. I'll try not to say the same shit I say on the podcast.
It's definitely a good place to start with Slammiversary so close. So works out well.
I agree.
So, Slammiversary never disappoints. I've said for ages that Slammiversary should be the main pay-per-view.
And I feel like they're headed that main focus. You know, it snuck up on me, just like the pay-per-view itself, like kind of like Undertaker streak, how they talk about that. Like they started, they didn't think about it. It was just something that happened organically. And then you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
We have a streak here. And I think it's the same thing with this. I don't know. Does that sound?
Yeah, it's Slammiversary. I think I started enjoying it from 2014. That was probably my favorite one. And from then it just started going well.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is prior to that, it was just like something like Slammiversary was maybe, what would you rate it? Second or third behind Lockdown, technically?
Yeah.
But secretly, it's been consistently great no matter what period of Impact TNA it's been. It's Slammiversary always feels like a go home, like big show. I don't know. It just snuck up on me.
Yeah, so like I said to you on the chat when we were chatting earlier, felt like Hard to Kill just last month.
Yeah.
It's come around so quickly.
Everything's going quick, surprisingly, but I'm excited. I'm glad it's tomorrow. I can't wait.
It feels like Christmas.
And honestly, I told Chris that. I was like, God, tomorrow's my Christmas day. Like, I'm just
wake up excited because it's soon. Yeah, it's all good. So Slammiversary, we've got a stacked card. So let's just go through it, see who thinks going to win, and let's start it with the Rascals Open Challenge.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I'll start with it. I'm excited for it no matter who comes out. I want to make sure I say that first because then I'm going to go on and speculate. But I think it was an issue of the tapings and the cuts and whatever they had to do to work around the Joey Ryan and all that stuff. Elgin. So I think they might have got lost in the shuffle there. But at the same time, it looks like maybe their opponents got lost in the shuffle. I would imagine it was cancel culture or something of that nature. Maybe RVD and Joey Ryan or something. But that leaves us here where we're at. And it's just, even though those situations sucked and it sucks that all their clips have been cut, it's really kind of cool that they're going into this now, one of the more secretive hyped matches when they didn't even know if they'd be on the card still. So kudos, good for them, but I'm excited for it because either way, we're going to have a good match.
Exactly. The Rascals, they're obviously, if not second to the North, they're up there as one of the best tag teams on Impact at the minute.
Okay.
They're definitely the most, the best booked besides the tag team champions.
Taken care of. Yeah. They're on they're not quite the North in the eyes of storyline purposes, but as far as complete package and athletics, I think we can say they're one world. Yeah.
Outside of the champions, yeah. So, and I know people are have probably been speculating already who who it could be. I know a lot of people on our group chat seem to think the Machine Guns are gonna make a surprise. They have been training together, and they were supposed to reunite at the No Place Like Home. So,
that's where my head was going to go. I know a few people in that same chat room, and if you guys aren't part of it and you're watching this before Slammiversary, hit us up. We'll put you in it too. It's positive, but we talk about everything unbiasedly. It's pretty fun. Cheap plug, but I know they mentioned, I don't even know what we call them. We got on the podcast, we call them the club because they don't have a name right now. But I don't think that's where they're used in some just squat, beat down of it just doesn't make sense. I guess happening, I think Triple XL kind of had a push after their little thing on Last Impact. So maybe it's just someone like that, and then maybe someone comes out after, whatever it may be. I think it's more Machine Guns than Club, though.
Yeah. See, I've been going back and forth on who I think it could be. I was thinking Machine Guns. Now I'm swinging more towards the Awakening, aka the Ascension.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. Obviously there are rumors that they were supposed to be Crazy Steve's mystery tag partners against Cancel Culture, but then I heard it was the Rascals.
I heard something similar, and it makes a lot of sense. I think they're a team that maybe their potential was untapped, obviously, and kind of they changed them completely on a whim and sent them up, to the main roster. So I think the chance is deserved, and I also trust Impact with characters of that genre, the crazy or the dark, or whatever you want to call it, dark realm, I guess, undead realm. So I would be excited if it is them, but as far as just to have them come out and wrestle the Rascals, it would just be weird if they lost. So if it is a surprise team and it's not a Triple XL or someone Deaners or something of that nature, it would have to be someone above the Rascals. So maybe a Motor City Machine Guns. That's where my head's at with that. But once again, it could be Shark Boy and D-Ray 3000. Who knows? Who knows?
Shark Boy. Ugh.
It's gonna. I just feel it's.
Yeah, it's history of being swerved. Yeah.
So who do you think takes? I mean, it's kind of hard when we don't know who the.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of build, but there hasn't really been that much build to who it could be. So, right. I think the mystery team is going to take it. Okay. If they're a mystery, I think history tends to show that if it's a mystery opponent, they usually win.
Okay. I'm gonna be in the middle on this. I'm gonna say, which I know we're supposed to predict, but I'll make two predictions. Either one, it's going to be a tag team already in Impact, and the Rascals win just to elevate the Rascals. If it is a surprise team, I'm with you. I think the surprise team wins.
Yeah.
Better or worse?
I'll soon see. So on to match number 2, the TNA World Championship in old school rules, Moose versus Tommy Dreamer. Okay. Now, when you guys were doing your one-word predictions on the podcast, I don't even know if it's a word, but one thing that came to my head first was,
Really?
Yeah, I like Tommy. I like Moose. Like, Tommy can half go, I suppose. Not. I didn't really see a lot of him in ECW. Saw mainly WWE, ECW. Yeah. So didn't see a lot of him there. But it's one of the things. I think. Yeah, Moose has done great, but I don't see this match going to plan with a pinfall.
You think Oh, you don't think it's going to end with a pinfall?
No.
Okay. I think Moose wins. But I don't think we're going to be disappointed. And I don't have any inside sources or anything of that nature. But but they filmed a lot of stuff in Atlanta. You listen to the podcast, you know that I made mention of it. A lot of stuff for Talk and Shopomania, which if they never gave a single hint, by the way, that they were coming to Impact, the initials TNA are bigger in Talking Shopomania. I don't know if that's a past thing or not, but it just, if they never said it, I still would have thought they were coming. But anyways, I think they might have filmed something for this as well. Simply because I heard Raven's Flock was in it, which is kind of an odd group to be in this video. You have former, I think, TNA people that can be used for this. I think they go backstage and a whole new world happens, and we go to some cinematic thing. I think they've learned from letting Tommy go out there for I love Tommy, but let him go out there for 15 minutes and get blown up and, you know, do the same beer on someone's face and spit in their face with water. We get it, Tommy. And I think they understand that. And the reason I say that is because that Rhino and Hernandez thing, which I love both of them from the past, not Rhino more than Hernandez. Not excited but that really suited them. And I was like, oh shit, this is some of the best stuff they put out in a while, which I think they consistently put out good stuff. So this is just, you know, next level. Funny, timely, shot well, elevated both guys and told a little story without having a drawn out feud. Really cool stuff. And I think that's the beginning of what's to come. So I see, which is nice. Same with Undertaker. If you get too old, we still want you on our television. We still want to see you, but how do we make that work? And I think these are the ways. But I could see them going backstage, and it's a TNA match, old school rules. So you go back, and there's Shark Boy, and there's Amazing Red, or whatever it may be, or there's AMW. I don't know. AMW is another one, the way that I was playing around with as an open challenge. But prediction wise, I'm going to stick with Moose just because I don't want that belt to be just thrown to Dreamer or just like, treat it like, if they're going to do something with it, I hope they do something with it. But I'll get to more on that when we talk the main event. So Moose is the short answer for me.
I agree. I think Moose will keep the TNA World title. But, I mean, I hope... Yeah. See, I hope that it does go to a cinematic style with the surprise pop-ups from someone. I'd be fine with that. With Moose, it's either going to be Moose pinning him clean, or if Moose does lose, I can see someone costing him the match, not being beaten by Tommy. So I'll say Moose.
I agree with you. Same page, my friend.
So now, for a match I'm really looking forward to, the Knockouts number one contender gauntlet. Yes,
is this your match of the night for you? Like what you're excited for?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, because the Knockouts.
Me too. And that's slightly above Willie and Chris Bay, just because I know that's going to be a banger. You know it's going to be. If they book it right, I hope, or hopefully they underbook it is what I'm trying to get at. It's just let them wrestle.
Yeah,
they're both geniuses when it comes to that. I'm wicked stoked about this one. It has every. I was actually reading maybe someone else's opinion, or it was in the chat. I don't know what it was, but every person in there has something going on. There's nobody that's just, let's throw in this person.
Yeah.
They might not have a feud, but they have some kind of relevance. So when you say well, what about Lisha Edwards? Could you see her winning? Kind of. I mean, they gave her gear, they gave her matches, they changed her character to be some Spitfire. Just we're seeing a little bit of it. Are the odds against her? Yeah, for sure. But they've done a great job of making this knockouts division where it's everybody's a 5-tool player or getting to that level. I mean, you have Rosemary and Taya's situation. You have Havoc and Nevaeh and Tasha and Kiera. Like it is beyond. Who else do we have?
Madison Rain, Kimberly.
Right. Who Kimberly kind of has something with Nevaeh still and Havoc.
Yeah.
You have Madison who has locker room talk. You have so every person, Kylie Ray and Susie.
Yeah.
It needs potential, which they're not gonna mess this up. Susie will get eliminated early, and Su Yung will come out later. It just has to happen. They know it has to happen. It's gonna happen. So there's so many dynamics to this match that not only can surprises come out, but even just the bringing of the bell or the buzzer, whatever it is, and knowing someone else is coming out, even if it's just someone on the roster, you're just excited. Like it's just there's no way they can, for lack of better terms, fuck this up.
No, it's the knockouts. I mean, just
they're a whole different level.
Completely. Yeah, I mean, I agree. The Susie and Su Yung thing has to happen. It's got to. Especially after last week, and Susie hit the panic switch. It's got to. Yeah. I just can't mess this up with the knockouts.
You can't. I mean, and if you do, say you came out, whatever it would be, you're just Joe Schmo, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Okay, whatever. But then you say you're third. That is a stupid example, but hear me out. If someone that the Impact Nation, we're not famous by any means. So they'd be like, what the hell is this guy doing out there? This is pretty weird and shitty. But the next person and the next person, it's like they get a clean slate every time someone comes out. So even if something shitty happens, not saying I wouldn't love seeing you in that match, the next person coming out automatically changes the dynamic.
Yeah.
So it's hard unless someone comes out and wins it. That's like
Disco.
Well, yes, that's true. That is true. I never thought about that. Funny.
That's my worry.
So let's not get to prediction of winning because we don't know all the players. Do you think there's going to be surprises?
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, I think Taylor Wilde has to be one. From all the talk.
Too much.
Yeah, it's been too much talking about to not do it.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be at lockdown. I'm hoping she does come in to this match.
Yeah, not the biggest fan, but it'd be exciting.
Yeah. And me and my sister were talking. She thinks ODB. I can see possible.
Drive her food truck down there. Watches a hard 10 game show and then play. No, I can see ODB. That's a makes sense. I think Gail Kim. I think we get her in this match.
Yeah, she has been beefing with Tasha Steelz a bit, so
I see that happening, which would be cool. I do like Taylor Wilde. I think I went back and watched recently. I think I underappreciated her at the time she was there. It was just hard to get over this girl who's Canadian having stars and stripes and American gimmick. I don't know. I was like, okay, cool, yeah. But so I'm okay with that. Obviously Madison's in it. I thought if she was on commentary, she'd go in it anyways, kind of like Pope did that one time. Well, let's see. ODB, I like that. I like Gail, Taylor Wilde. I don't know her status, but I would love Awesome Kong. That's my
wow.
Would be everything. But I don't know.
I'm thinking I want Taylor Hendricks. But
you do?
yeah, I want Taylor Hendricks in that match.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan. Plus,
Are you?
she follows me, so
Okay. She's attractive. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
Taylor Hendricks. Yeah. Yeah. So, as for a winner, who could you see picking up the win? Would it be a surprise entrant, or would it be someone already in the match?
See, that's hard because even Tennille could come back and be in this. Sarita, there's so many random people that can change it. Beautiful people. It could be a crazy thing here, but unless they have the person locked up, you know what? No, I'm going to change it because with the mystery Rascals, I think the Rascals win because I don't think it's going to be that big of a thing. I think in the main event, I don't want to get too far ahead. I just don't think the mystery person wins there. So I'm going to go the mystery person wins on this one.
Okay.
Just because they can sneak in, the dynamic could change. I prefer it to be Su Yung. I think that would be cool. But I could see it anyway. Kylie makes sense too, but I don't know. Who are you locking in? I got to think about this.
I'm going. I think it's time for her to be injected into the title feud slightly. Maybe not win it right now, but it's time for her to be in the title picture.
Yeah, I'm there with you. So if someone from Impact wins, I hope it's Kylie. But I'm gonna go with a surprise appearance.
Yeah.
You gotta win something, right?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, the knockouts always deliver. So moving on.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, so moving on now it's for the Knockouts Championship.
Okay, I was gonna say what has the problem with that? Yeah.
Versus Deonna Purrazzo.
Now we don't know obviously if this is the match order of the card, but segueing over, you kind of have to think whoever wins the Battle Royal, it tells you who's going to win the title or keep the title. Generally, Impact's really good about changing it up a little bit. But if a Kylie wins, who's an obvious face, I don't think that actually affects the match because I think even though I don't like when people come in without a long-term contract, win a title, and then peace out, I like Deonna. I think she's really deep in that character. She's got the full package right now going on. She's got the momentum. I think Jordynne Grace's title reign was kind of marred by COVID. I mean, what can unfortunately for her, she just got that cage thing that happened, where you get the title, you get an injury or something happens and you're not present. Doesn't mean you were a bad champion. You just were dealt a bad hand. But she's been more aggressive lately, Jordynne.
Yes.
So if she does lose it, you have, Kylie could work in Deonna. But I would see something with Jordynne turning anyways. So either she loses it and she turns, or she wins with a little more aggression and then, does her mindset change. I don't know, something along those lines.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the match for definite because Deonna, she's finding out to prove what she can do. She's kind of, again, like most of them, pushed down in NXT. So, yeah, as in terms of champion potential title changes, it's not on pay-per-views. There's not really that many title changes. They usually give them away on free TV, which frustrates me, but that's a whole other thing. And yeah, like you said, Jordynne has got a bit more aggressive. So, like with the contract signing earlier, smashing their head on the table. Yeah,
threatening to beat up Jimmy Jacobs.
Yeah.
Good too.
Poor Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
You see, well, let's think about it. Could you see Jordan, could you see a Jordan heel turn after this, no matter what?
Not until you just said it. I couldn't see it, but now it's starting to clear up a bit, and I can potentially see it.
Wonder if they do not a double turn, because I think Deanna's better as a heel. Either way they do it, after this match, they need to freshen up the title picture. So they do it in these two matches. Obviously, you get a new contender in a way that doesn't make anyone else look bad, because it's a gauntlet, for the most part. It doesn't affect somebody if they get thrown over the top rope.
No.
It's an easy way for Kylie to get right into that match if it's her. And it automatically opens up a new set of opponents for a Jordan if she does turn heel or aggressive and is a dominant champion. I kind of would like them to take on that challenge and make her not necessarily turn heel, but gradually get there and just say, hey, it's me against the world now. She's the biggest one they have as far as what they, we've always had. Well, I guess Havoc. They treat her like a monster as well.
Yeah.
But she's supposed to be tough. So I think seeing her just be aggressive and take on all challengers, I'd like to see. But if Deanna gets it, there's a whole plethora of new opponents for her. So
yeah, I agree with that. It's like Jordan's finally referring to herself on TV as the Hossette.
Right.
I think that's maybe she's dropping a few hints. I don't know, but I'm still saying Jordan retains. Maybe Kylie Rae comes out to congratulate her and all like square up. Then she turns.
I like that.
But
I like that because Deanna's not signed yet, at least to our knowledge.
No, I know she wants a contract, but she isn't signed yet. She wants one, yeah.
So let's see. I don't think they make that mistake though. I think Jordan wins too. That's my final prediction.
Yeah, so both going with a champion retain. So then, X Division title match: Chris Bay versus Willie Mack. Oh, what a match it's going to be.
Yeah, if they book this right, and by that I mean just let them two wrestle. I know we have the Johnny Swinger thing, but he got the right back to be by his side. Then he said, "No, never mind. You hurt my feelings," or whatever.
Yeah.
Could I see that character trying to get redemption and have a change of heart and go help Chris Bay? Yeah, but I hope that doesn't happen. I like Chris Bay. I like Chris Bay a lot. I think he's figuring out his look and character, and he's focused in there, and he's almost there. I think he's got it. And he'll be a great challenger for quite a while. But I don't think he should be champion. Willie Mack really hasn't got a chance to do his thing. They're still trying to now. I still think they're going to give him a manager at some point. They dropped too many hints about it. So I hope Willie keeps it, unless I don't think it's Swinger that would come out. But if Rich Swann comes out and hits him with a crutch, I'd be okay with that too, because that at least gives Willie something to do afterwards and elevates both of them in a way.
Yeah.
So ponder.
See, I don't think I like Johnny Swinger, but I don't think this match really needs him involved. So keep that out. Yeah, I agree. Huge fan of Chris Bay. He's one of the few that Impact fans were clamoring for him to sign after a explosion match against Luchasaurus. People wanted him on Impact. That was like felt like years ago now.
Right.
But yeah, it's not time for him to be champion right now. Just don't.
Well, what I like,
I agree with you.
Yeah, well, it's just that, and I'm glad we agree, because Willie Mack is just on another level. And I think we have mentioned on the show too, the X Division's not been in the background. It hasn't. It's been featured, but it felt like it fell back into that. All the new guys go for random guys, random matches, whatever. But in the old X division, once you got past those random matches and you were the best of those people, you got in the title picture, and it was held on a different, pedestal. So I like with Willie Mack holding it that he elevates it. It does elevate, but he also is Willie Mack. You know, he's always going to have a good match, and he could be eventually one day our heavyweight champion. So I like that. I like it being a big stepping stone for people. Ace Austin, big stepping stone. Boom, next level.
Definitely.
So with that being said, I hope Willie.
Yeah, I want Willie to win, but yeah, I like as you said, him potentially being world champion. That's something that I can't see personally. He's good, but there's like with Johnny Impact, there's something missing.
I can see that. I understand what it is, and trust me, before he started doing these, they've been using him in like kind of short comedic talking points. He's not the best talker. I think he understands that, but they're trying to get him to be at least a certain level. He's going to need a manager. Now I know this is silly because it's just going off a WWE thing, but if Leo Rush had came in and was a manager for Willie Mack, and Willie was maybe kind of not cocky, but like he's just wrestler, and that guy talks for him and manages, and he just does his business, kicks ass, and that's it. That might work. So I think he would need that perfect packaging for Willie Mack to be champion, but obviously he could go. And he seems like a good dude. So
yeah, sure. So yeah, Willie Mack to retain.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah. So now the main event, the fatal four-way for the vacant Impact World Championship.
The tag team champions first. Do you want to do that?
Tag team championship. So many matches.
Trust me, too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry, tag team championships. The North versus Sammy and Shamrock. When I first saw this match, when I saw Sammy come out to help Shamrock, I was slightly excited, but then I realized Shamrock, he can still go and he can still do this crazy stuff, but I didn't see a lot of Ken Shamrock, so I don't know if he was always like this and just a hard hitter. I didn't know if he had much pace to him.
Yeah.
But I just, especially with Sammy, I think it's kind of I don't like the move that he hasn't had a world title rematch yet, but he's been thrown into the tag division with someone who's a non-tag team against tag team champions.
I'm not to interrupt you, but you got to also figure the reason he hasn't got a title match is, one, they repackaged him, but two, the person he would get it from is
yeah.
So maybe that's where this tag match comes from. But
I like Ken Shamrock. I like Sammy Callahan. Love the North.
Okay.
But I don't know.
I'm with you there. Before you give your prediction, I'm going to say I'm with you there. As far as I love all of the people in that ring. As far as Shamrock goes, I want to answer that for you. He was a UFC fighter first, came in, got trained, was a bit of a natural, not Angle level, but pretty solid. Was a big part of Attitude Era. I always enjoyed him, but you could tell he never loved it. I think he loved the money. I don't know if he loved stuff, but what he's doing in Impact really has redeemed him for me this recent run, because I did have that in mind when he came in. He was only there for originally, and that's why everyone's like, he's the first champion. Yeah, for 3 weeks. He was only there 3 times or something. So Ken Shamrock never really has that whatever to me when it comes to TNA, but he always used to wrestle kind of boom boom, but it was a little more fluid. He's older. You could definitely tell he's older, but he's still giving it a go, and he's in great shape, so I'm happy he's there. But So I don't know if this match was put together late and they just kind of put people together because they had nothing else going on. But I really, and I know Max took the same approach or thought process as you, but I actually like the pairing simply because it is very Batman and Joker teaming up, as they've mentioned, or, you know, like they are rivals. I like those stories where rivals come together for a common cause. I don't like when they split up and then there's a vacancy for the title and all that typical BS.
Yeah.
They don't have to win.
Yeah.
They can have a good match and lose. I'm okay with that. But could I see Sammy doing some heelish stuff and the match doesn't even happen? I could see that. And then kind of laughing, you know, like I don't care about this shot. It's just to kill you, you know, whatever he wants to say. I would kill whatever. And then the club come out. Is my ideal moment. But I don't know if this is familiar to you. Do you remember the Rock and Sock connection? Do you remember Mankind and the Rock?
Yeah.
Odd couple come together for common cause and win a title. So I could see it happening. I enjoy that each person in this match is a very well put together character. Like everyone in here, this is like a video game to me, this match. Like it just feels like that vibe. Like who are you gonna pick? Oh, I pick Shamrock. All right. So I think imagery and I think they're four smart minds. I think they'll put together something good if there's a match. I don't know how it's gonna work. I just don't feel like this is gonna be cut and dry. They come together for a common cause. Let's go win. I just can't see.
Yeah, no, I just don't want it to be another Eli Drake and Scott Steiner thing. I can't, not again.
I know. And I love Scott Steiner, but I hate pairings like that.
Yeah, I felt like it was just to move LAX onto another thing, which just
yes. Yep.
That's what it was.
What was I gonna say? Who's the other one? I know people are talking about Slater and Rhino getting back together.
Yeah.
See, I know it was humorous seeing their stuff when they were together. But what do you do with that? I just don't see. I don't like that kind of weird pairing on a permanent level.
No.
It feels very. Bring an old reference. I was gonna say Lance Storm and Sean Morley, but that's way before. I'm so old. But yeah, no, I hope it's not that. I hope it's just a match and they lose. I would love if they just lost. Not the North, but
yeah.
Then that was it. Surprise people. Because I don't want this show to be overbooked. I think you mentioned it. You don't want it just to be a run out and run in and match. I'm with you.
Yeah, so the North have to retain. They can't lose to a.
I hope so.
They can't lose to a thrown together team.
That's not my thing. If you break the record, you wipe LAX out of the record book. That's what they did by putting the North as number one. If those are your guys, you cannot have them lose their first title reign to, although mega powers, to a makeshift tag team. And Don always says it. He always says if you're a tag team, you're always going to beat two guys, no matter how good they are. So I hope he stays true to his word here.
Yeah.
Well, what's your prediction?
North retaining. They have to. North.
I want to speak it into existence. So I'm going to say the North retain. The North retain.
The North to retain. So now it's time for the main event, the vacant Impact Wrestling World Championship. Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, Trey, and a mystery opponent. So now, when it was announced as a elimination 5-way, I was excited. For it's 4-way, I'm still excited because obviously there's more mystery around it now, and it's straight 4-way. And Ace is like the major future. Like he's both. He's present and future. He's incredible. Trey, I feel he's only in this because he got took out by someone Ace hired. I like Trey, and there's definitely something there. Mm-hmm. And Eddie Edwards, love Eddie. Eddie is Mr. Impact Wrestling right now.
Yeah. I think even looking back on all the people that have been in Impact, and I'm a homer for the old days, the Asylum years, and a little bit after. But even those people, and I love AJ, obviously, but I think Eddie Edwards might be, like, straight up Mr. Impact Wrestler, like, out of everybody. Because he stayed with them. He's done everything asked of him. He's just that guy that you want to win. And it wasn't always like that for me. I was not obviously, but I was a fan of the Wolves. I mean, I think everyone was. I followed them in ROH. I've seen them wrestle in ROH. Eli in person, they're cool dude, always been nice. It's just when Davey left, everyone saw Davey as the future star. That's fair, I think.
Yeah.
And then Eddie, they got that push and they gave him the belt, and he was just generic Eddie. But they came in, this management team, and said, "You know what, Eddie? Everything is there with you. You want to be here." Obviously, I don't know the conversation, but essentially, they put him onto the path of finding a character and masking that personality side that doesn't click with everyone. I love Eddie. I think he's a good dude, but good dude wrestler doesn't really translate to exciting character.
Nice.
I really like what they done with him in such a short period and how he's developed through that time to a place where I'm like, damn, man, Eddie's that guy. He is the dreamer of Impact.
Yeah, sure.
But before I get off on a tangent, how much I love Eddie Edwards. We could go on all day, I feel like. I agree with you in the sense with Trey. He's got something. I say it on the podcast too. I don't slight him because I think eventually he'll get it. And eventually he will be champion. But gear and everything has to match up. Entrance music, entrance lighting, he needs to put that part together and develop. And I still think he needs to run with the X division. Like a good one, like a solid one, before he can be on that level. So I think he might have been used for dynamic of the match purposes more than anything else. And then that leaves Ace. Literally since day one with Ace, and I screenshotted the damn tweet because I know it's gonna come back. I tweeted Ace and I said, "This is the best prospect since AJ Styles." And Impact has had. He liked it. I took a picture of it. He shared it, whatever. And I really believe that. This kid has everything. Does he have it all together right now? I mean, he needs a little age to him. He needs a little age. But when he gets there, just like AJ needed a little age. When they get there, you're like, damn, man. Like, this guy's legit. Character's already there. He knows who he is. He could portray so many different sleazeball gimmicks. It's great. But I don't think now is the time.
No. See, with Ace, it's like, he has the talent of AJ, mixed with like the cockiness of 90s Shawn Michaels. I think that's
fair. It's a good combination, right? And he has Madman, which I think is very Shawn and Dieselish. So I think they see him that way too. And the X factor here isn't really so much is Ace ready for it. It's what's next, right? When we set this champion, we have the choice. We're looking at the four options as a writer. You look at the four options and you say, okay, where does this winning lead us, right? Where's this person lead us? So it's more of what they like better out of them options. That's why I don't see the mystery person winning. I know everyone says they're going to come in and win it, and it's going to be whatever. Unless it's the person I've been mentioning lately, and that's CM Punk. unless it is CM Punk, you don't pull the trigger on that. Because I feel, and I said it before, I feel like that was always what TNA was known for. Oh, guy comes in, he got released, give him a bell, give him the... I don't want that. And I think management, knows that they don't need someone now. They have built their own thing. So unless it's someone of his caliber to where you're scrolling on Yahoo or Google or whatever the hell you're doing in the morning and you see CM Punk returns and wins Impact Championship, mind blown.
Yeah.
EC3, love EC3. I think he's a main event player. Does that headline do it? No, you could spin that a little bit. Does a Bully Ray winning? No. So unless they have that mystery person winning, or CM Punk, I don't see the mystery person winning. I originally thought it was Rusev. I thought Aiden English comes out, says his thing, Rusev comes out, and he wrestles. But I didn't see him winning there. I saw from day one, and I still see it now. I think Eddie, well, not when Tessa and Elgin were in. I think it was Elgin's match to lose. And
yeah.
Elgin be Elgin. But I said from that point forward, it's Eddie. He has to win it because it's a nice feeling moment to end the show on. We've had surprises. We've had all these things. Oh, Eddie wins it. People come out. He celebrates or whatever the heck. It's a good moment, and I think he's ready for that championship. He deserves it. Yeah. And if you're starting that next chapter of Impact, go with him because he deserves to be that guy. And then you have an instant feud with Moose if he keeps his TNA title, and those guys go at it and they're best friends. So the storyline's built in there. Eddie can have a good match with anyone at EC3 when he comes back, whoever it may be. So I'm going to go with Eddie.
Yeah, quickly on the Rusev thing. I found out he's been diagnosed with COVID, so he won't be there now. So, but I can't see it being the mystery person. Who, no matter who it is, I can't see it being them.
CM Punk?
I go back. If you CM Punk, then put everything on him. But I go back and forth between Ace and Eddie. My heart says Eddie. My head's saying Ace. I think on this one, I'm going with my heart. Eddie Edwards to be the new world champion.
You are the subtitle to my subtitles. That is exactly what I'm thinking for.
It has to be Eddie. So before we quickly wrap up, quickly talk Ace and Eights.
Okay.
Because people saying that. Yeah.
Oh, God.
People are saying that if Ace wins the world title, he'll be in the new or EC3 joining Ace and Eights. I don't think either of those characters suit that style. Like, if it's going back to the original Ace and Eights, like Leather Kurt and the Biker Gang, that doesn't suit EC3 or Ace Austin. So
that's what people are saying, is that it's going to be Ace and Madman Fulton are part of Aces and Eights.
Yeah. And Ace is the new leader and all this. Yeah,
Got two on the nose, Aces and Aces. He is always a step ahead. Would it build him instantaneously? Yes. Yeah. He'd be like, what is his name? Jay White. They kind of threw him into the role, and now he's main event player, perceived as that. So could they do that? Yes. I never thought about that, and I love word puns and plays and words. But I'm with you in the sense that if you go original Aces and Eights, not everyone in it, but as far as look and music and all that, which I actually like if they do it right.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't see Ace and maybe Madman. I don't know, because you would have to assume that it's Gallows and Anderson, right?
Yeah.
So Gallows, Anderson, Ace Austin, and Madman Fulton. I guess I can see Madman in the leather vest and stuff. Diesel tassel pants.
Yeah.
I don't know, chaps. No, as far as Aces and Eights goes, my ideal situation. I get everyone seeing EC3 because they see him in the hood. Supposedly that's him, and then he's walking down the railroad and going to wherever, Alexandria or wherever the hell it is, in Walking Dead. I know for a fact EC3 is going to be there. I don't know if you want me to spoil it or not. But so here's a little tip if anyone wants to go back. He just put up an interview with, I think he was doing it with Mike Johnson. Who was it? Where he was filmed. I can't remember.
He's done a few interviews with Fightful and PW Insider.
Well, whatever one I saw, he was behind something similar to what's behind me, that wood panel, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the Nashville office.
Oh.
Studios where they film, yeah.
Yes.
So he's a lock to be in it, but as he aces and eights, I just don't see. I hope it's separate, because what he's doing now on his page is phenomenal. It's different. It's gritty. It's more of a truth seeker kind of thing. So I dig that. I'd rather just have the aces and eights be Gallows and Anderson and a bunch of hooded guys.
Yeah.
If my dream comes true, you would have a Bully Ray eventually unmasked, but not the president anymore, right? Cliffhanger next episode. Then you unmask someone. You have Mike and Maria. Maria can be the first lady of the Aces and Eights. I like that. Well, actually, the guy I'm about to mention, I'm pretty sure dated her, so never mind. But the leader should be CM Punk. That's what should be the leader. Aces and Eights.
As long as it doesn't turn into a new Nexus, it's fine.
Right. That's my only concern about the eight. Let me say that, though. I'm with you there. My only concern about the Aces and Eights is that, one, either they push someone as the leader, like a Bully still, who's, I don't know what he looks like, but he's pretty up there in age. I think he's 48. I think we're past that. So you need to elevate somebody else. Maybe that is where, Ace makes sense. But I just hope that it's not someone random like Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff. I'm not going to be a dick, but you could have, I would have watched and watched them be part of the Aces and Eights or a part of Impact. So I just hope it's not a random group of, like you said, Nexus, where it's just random dudes who no one cares about until they come together, and then they still are. Whatever.
Exactly.
Well, what is your prediction? If someone put a gun to your head, what would you say the Aces and Eights, who they are and leader-wise? Because we're going to get that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Gallows and Anderson have to be. I think it depends where they're going with it, because it looks like they're going with Super Eric. But I'd want EY, like world-class maniac EY, as the leader. I'd be fine with that. Then maybe add a few in later. Yeah. Okay. Keep those three for now, and then add a few. Or have D'Lo and Anderson. But
Anderson.
Yeah, Ken
Anderson. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, though. My thing with this is the only reason I never thought of Eric Young, honestly, is because they were so hard hinting at Team Canada. I think the only reason we saw Super Eric was maybe unless that was always the plan, was something they had to do because now Eric Young isn't going to be doing Team Canada. Elgin's gone. Yeah. So I think maybe they had to divert for him. So, but he would fit, though. I like him fitting in that group. Yeah. But once again, I think he wants to focus on life after wrestling. He's just coming back to fix his mistake, as he said.
Yeah, it's still a good few years in him, though. So you get like 2 to 3 years max, and then he can move backstage. All works fine.
But do you see why they would invest in someone as a leader of something at that age frame? Do you think time frame?
Yeah, I get that.
Ace comes in EC3. That's where they both make sense in that group. But I don't know.
Maybe Storm.
People say I'm crazy. I want to get this out, and I am crazy. But the CM Punk thing. Okay, FedEx, right? In the last minute, FedEx, he got fired by FedEx on his wedding day there. Gallows was what to CM Punk?
He was disciple thing. Yeah.
But you know, what was it? I wanted to say Dead Poet Society. What is
the drug-free
straight edge society.
Straight edge, yeah.
Yeah. So there's, and then I know I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I don't think. I just think there's. I think there's a lot of people don't like AEW.
No.
I don't mean that as me or you or fans. I think there's a lot of people in the business that aren't sold on it or don't want it to, only want it to get a certain level. And I'm including WWE in that. I'm not saying all these guys were released at the same time, in time for an Impact pay-per-view. I don't know how they pitched them to all come there. Maybe it's just coincidence and whatever. But something big is going to happen at this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There's too many things lined up. Even if they don't come through with it, because I think there should be some reveals on the tapings as well, as far as unmaskings or whatever. There has to be something that changes our world. Adams and Gallows are pretty big. That's a big sign that they signed with Impact instead. But one thing we haven't played with, and I want to see where you're. I don't know how much we're on time, but if you guys stick with us, awesome. Should we say that first? This is obviously going to be a weekly review show. You mentioned that. But we'll be doing a second episode live via live feed on YouTube.
If we can. I know we need to get 100 subscribers before then. So if you can subscribe, that'd be great.
Well, I should have announced that. But either way, we're going to be doing something live on Sunday with Max as well as part of what went down. But I know a bunch of you mentioned you wish we had a review show because Max and I do every 2 weeks, and we kind of do a more talking point. So this will be it, and Craig will be your leader. But in case we go on a thing. But the change the world thing, right? It's got to be bigger.
Yeah.
Got to be bigger. Our world. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this whole potential surprises and all that, unless the rumors are true and Russo is back in Impact, then they could all go to shit. But with this new regime, I think we're in for one hell of a pay-per-view.
Are you saying if Vince Russo's back, meaning the booking, or do you mean as in he's revealed as Aces and Eight?
Oh God, no, behind the scenes, like when they tried to keep him a secret from the.
They would get tangled up in. You know, I like Vince Russo. I've always been an advocate of him. His good stuff. There's certain things, you know, obviously, and I thought his TNA run wasn't that bad in comparison to what people thought in WCW. But I just don't see them going that route. I just also want to have faith in this management to say our world is going to change and come through with it. Because this is a company now, mind you, that Dixie, a lot of August 1 warning, all these things that are hyped up and huge, and then we get diddly squat. So it's got to be something big here, man. And
it feels.
We went on the tangent. That's what I forgot. I'm sorry. In the video, the most recent video, past couple ones rather, done, the Japanese flag was being waved in the video.
Yeah.
Now I wonder if our world is going to change as a New Japan reference and maybe something of that nature.
Oh, so I saw the Japanese flag and I thought, who's that for? Yeah, I saw the flag. as from Japan. Not I can remember. I know
there was a Bulgarian flag and there was Japanese flag.
Yeah, and also the ginger kids.
The what?
The ginger kids. There's some ginger children in the redhead kids. You
I
call
know
them
you're
ginger.
talking about. Fair.
In the video.
There
video
were?
package, there's red-headed kids. Yeah, for Heath.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought Carrot Top was coming back. Conan O'Brien was coming in. What the? Okay.
There's 3 ginger kids. Yeah. We call them gingers. Like, yeah.
Okay. He's a ginger. Okay. I see that there.
Yeah.
What the hell? What do you think he does?
But Heath is the whole thing for Heath.
Yeah, it's all for Heath Miller. Yeah. If it is, I'd still watch. But okay, so do we have anything else to discuss? You want to do final prediction on who the big thing is? What do you think the big is, or what do you? Let me word that better. The world's going to change. Do you see it as a culmination of a bunch of things? Just how great the pay-per-view is, one person debuting. What are you seeing that's what you think is going to make people's perception change?
I mean, when all the releases came about, I tweeted that once this all is back to some sort of normal, wrestling is going to change for the better. And I thought because all these releases could go anywhere.
Right.
And it seems like Impact are going to get a few of them, which no one thought they would.
No.
So I think pay-per-view, pay-per-view Slammiversary was always quality.
Mm.
But I think it's the surprises that are going to change it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think if they don't overbook this and Russo isn't back there writing it, it's going to be top to bottom a great card. There's very little mess set up except bad booking or injury. Hopefully that doesn't happen. So it's going to be a great thing. I don't think they would be that brazen, obviously, about it to say it's going to change our world by having a great pay-per-view. That means enough players are coming in where the dynamic of the show and the roster is changed completely. So I see a lot of people, and I honestly believe that everyone in that first video was someone that they had signed or thought they were going to sign. Rockstar Spud was there. After he got signed, he was no longer on it. Brian Myers disappeared until recently. So maybe there was a thing where he was going to go to AEW with Zack Ryder. So I think they're being very honest in these videos. I don't know about Sting and Angle, honest. But could you imagine they unmask the leader and it's Angle? Or, I prefer that Angle's just backstage and is like, I said this before, I'll say it again, that he's in some TNA vignette and he's like, heard you guys were hiring. And then that,
Yeah.
But you waste him on something, so no. I think it's going to change, and I agree with you from that perspective. Impact has been perceived as, okay, they've been doing better, and then something happens. Oh, they've been doing better, something happens. Okay, they're quality, but they don't have any buzz now. We talked about it. On the buzz was, do we change management? What's next? I'm not saying they listen to the fans, but say they did and they took that as a challenge. Their response to that challenge was the best sales pitch that they've ever done, because we've been striking out on a lot of people. A lot of people have been leaving us to go out AEW because it's the new shiny thing. Matt Hardy, didn't go with us. There's obviously Lucha Brothers left us. LAX left us. Brian Cage left us. Our whole production team left us. My heart, by the way. I saw Andrew Thomas was for AEW. I thought he was still with Impact. That's sad. So to have a crop of guys that, yes, they lost their job, so they need another job. I get it. But could they have waited around and went back to WWE? Probably. If they were happy, they could have got another job at a lower price. They're getting offers back. Could they have went to AEW and got a lot of money? Yeah, but as EC3 said in his last interview I watched, he said, this, where I signed is not about money right now. There's more that matters than money. I didn't go for the best contract, please. Could they have went to New Japan somewhere? Yes. ROH? NXT, same difference.
Yeah.
So many options now, and which is great for professional wrestling. But to be chosen for whatever reason over the other big names is a pretty big deal. It is as I say, a needle mover. It moves the needle.
Yeah, there it is.
Because
there it
now
is.
You cannot, unless they wheel out some 60-year-old guy and are like, oh, it's the Nasty Boys, woo! They show some of the guys we think, the perception of Impact doesn't have money is gone. The perception of, oh, no one's going to choose that place is gone. Deonna Purrazzo, look what they did with her already. The club coming in. People are choosing and not acknowledging, and I say this on the podcast, and I'll shut up and I'm going to end with this. Impact, when you strip it of all the flashiness, even though the production has been insanely better recently.
Yeah.
If you them of all the fancy bells and whistles, the crowd, the arenas, the graph, you just let them go and be creative and do, they are going to beat any company out there. And that's not me being biased. I've said on the show multiple times where I think there's other stuff that's Impact's not doing right or whatever. But right now, there are such a creative bunch that makes literally, chicken salad out of chicken shit. Is that what it is? Or chicken?
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
So well with such little that I think the creative, good people know what they represent.
For definite, it's something big's coming, and it's going to start at Slammiversary.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep.
So, thanks for sticking with us. I know we have gone slightly over what we scheduled, but hey, it's a special preview, so I guess it's okay. Next preview will be a lot shorter, but
what's it been? 3
hours? Sticking with us. Yeah, close enough. So, don't forget, you can check out the latest episode of the podcast here on YouTube, as well as mixtape 3 of Like TNA Jams. Subscribe to us here. Help us reach 100. Don't forget, we'll be very close. We're streaming live at some point after Slammiversary. And you can find us at TNAW Podcast on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. Stay safe, everyone. And don't forget to check out Slammiversary because big things are coming. I can feel it. Bye, everyone.